100 FAU students who expected to stay in on-campus housing are right now calling a nearby hotel home. The school says it's all due to overcrowding at the moment. South County reporter Miranda Christian live for us at the hotel with the university's plan to fix this problem.
Bursting at the seams in southern Palm Beach County, over 100 Florida Atlantic University students will be living off campus in hotels again this year. Dorms still overcrowded. FAU says 93 students at the Boca Raton campus will stay at the Fairfield Inn, while 30 students at the Jupiter campus will stay at the Courtyard Marriott. The school says new residence halls will be open by 2021.
Well, we have seen over the past 5 years the dorms fill up and students having to move to hotels. A Renaissance hotel about 2 miles from campus will be home to 180 FAU students.
A college dorm doesn't typically look like this, but at Florida Atlantic University, this is the norm for some students this year. A university spokesman says the school saw an increase of about 27% applications for on-campus housing this year over last, partly due to rising rent off campus.
My name is Chase Perrotta, and I'm from Cooper City, Florida. I was under the impression I was going to be living on campus. I had signed the housing contract by like the priority deadline. And then I think it was July 12th, I got an email that they would not be able to provide housing to me. That was basically all the email said, was that we can't house you. Obviously I was a bit distraught over that. I'd lined up a job in Boca. It was just a massive logistical issue that they just kind of put on my lap. I called them, the housing office. They told me that there was going to be hotel housing, but that I wouldn't be getting offered that yet. They were going to offer people that were out of state first, and then people that were within state, but above 30 miles from campus. And then if there were any spots left, I would get a spot.
My name is Ramon Alejandro, and I'm from Miami, Florida. The reason they transferred me to the hotel was because the housings at the school were basically all full. And since at the time I turned in my housing contract, it was one of the late ones. So they basically put me on the back burner and put me in the hotel instead of any of the housing options. So there was really no other option besides the hotels. It was a big mess. There was no idea what was going on. It was just, there was a basic plan, but there were so many complexities that kind of made it difficult the first few days.
Eventually I got a call on the move-in day that a spot opened up here. I'd been looking the whole summer for places in Boca, apartments. Everything here was really out of my price range, and my parents had paid for Florida prepaid and for room and board, so it was kind of like, we're paying for you to be in a dorm, why can't they provide you a dorm, and why are they telling you so late? It's like there wasn't an opportunity to go to a different school. It was just like, okay, we can't give you a dorm, deal with it.
So they called you on the phone the day of move-in to let you know that there was a spot, or?
Yeah, they called me on the phone and they were like, hey, a spot opened up, do you want it? And I mean, I was ecstatic.
I mean, it's an overall nicer experience just because it is a hotel. But I say the con is the dorm life. There is no such thing as a dorm life. Basically, when I was at the dorms during summer term, if you went downstairs or anywhere you went, there you always have people having fun. But then here, it's more like you just come here to sleep, just do your things, nothing else. It's more of a serious, not energetic tone as the campus dorms. But then again, the pros, for me at least, outweigh the cons. Even though I don't have much of a social life in the hotel, I do get the perks of having mates come in and clean and have a really nice bed to go sleep on.
I'd say the cons is that one, I'm paying for it. It's definitely more expensive than it would be. I'm paying for like a super double, which is more expensive than it would be at a dorm. It's also, it's so hard to have a social life in the hotels. I walk into the hotel and it's a hotel. It's kind of hard to meet people. There's not as much of that, I guess, community aspect as there is in a dorm. I would say that the main downside is that I'm not having a college experience right now. I mean, I'm living in a hotel, It's kind of a weird existence. It's built for a single dad coming for a business trip or something, It's not for, two people like trying to have be college students.
I'd say, at least for me, it's an overall good experience. I have access to good bed, good room, good service, and everything like food-wise isn't too far. I'm not too far from the school. This incoming freshman year was the biggest one FAU has ever had. So according to the orientation FAU, whoever is the orientation leader, he said that out of the 25,000 applicants, about 5,000 were able to get accepted into the school. So the demand was high, just there wasn't a supply. And there was also the article that I read earlier about FAU's proposal to build a new housing area, but was rejected to the city. The city rejected it, which caused this whole hotel fiasco with us moving to a hotel. If the city allowed for FAU to build up a new housing project, new dorm rooms, they would have been able to avoid this problem. But that again is due to the housing crisis that was going on at the time, and that's still going on. All hotel students got told that by the next semester, spring semester, they will be on the priority list of moving to the housing in the school. By next semester, there will be nobody living in the hotels. There was only this semester where some of us got stuck with the hotel while the others got stuck in the dorms. Supposedly, according to the RAs and the people who are in charge of us, say that by the time spring semester starts, there's going to be so many students gone that they can move the students that are still staying from the hotel and they can move them into the dorms at FAU.
So it has to do with like the dropout rate.
Dropout rate, and then some switching from commuter to dorm to commuter, which for me at least I might do because pricing, at least for the hotel, was around $4,000, and I think of possibly switching to commuter and going the hour instead of just living on campus, because overall I'll still end up saving money and I'll get money back because my tuition was originally around $2,000, but because of the hotel, it went up all the way to $6,000.
It's difficult to find anything below $1,200.
Graduate student Asher Iqbal calls it a housing crisis.
The way the inflation is going up, the salaries are not going up accordingly. So students do not have much options available because they don't have much money to pay for them, and then the options that are available are way too expensive.
Rent Cafe, a website that tracks rental trends, says that average monthly lease in Boca Raton is $2,800 a month.
So you can imagine how difficult it is, like whether to live or to eat.
In an email to students, FAU's housing department says they are currently at full capacity for the upcoming fall semester and are offering a limited number of double occupancy rooms at the Fairfield Inn and the Renaissance Hotel for the fall semester. Just last year, Boca Raton's City Council rejected a proposal for a 546-bed, 4-story apartment complex across the street from FAU's campus.
I think that was kind of a lost opportunity for us.
City Council member Andy Thompson says the proposal was rejected partly because of concerns about safety and traffic.
It would have been nice at a time like this to have those additional 500, 550 beds to accommodate the incoming freshmen going to FAU. It wasn't a perfect solution. It wasn't a silver bullet. We wouldn't have done the whole thing, but it was in our hand, dropped into our lap to try to address this.
As Asher figures out how to afford rent off campus, Thompson says the city will have a discussion about what off-campus housing will look like in Boca Raton.
The housing department does say they expect on-campus housing to become available for the spring semester, but for now, hotels are the best option for many students.